All right, so I started it up. I see one student. Hello there, and welcome to Virtual College Exploration, all you Pennsylvania residents. We are here today with Michigan State University, Dawn Marie Walker, and she's going to give you a very, very strong explanation of how wonderful things are at Michigan State. Before she starts, though, let me just tell you a couple things, housekeeping things. First, know that this recording will be available throughout the week at www.pacac.org/virtual. As well, there are a few more sessions left, so you can still sign up for our other sessions at the same location, www.pacac.org/virtual. As well, remember that your camera and your microphone are off, so you will be muted, and your muted video, you can't, no one can see you. So if you want, so Dawn cannot hear you or see you. So if you have questions, you are most certainly going to have to use the question and answer button on your screen. So please do that and ask her questions. She's going to make questions available to you at the end of her presentation. So please write your questions down and be ready to ask her those questions. All right, so without further ado, let me turn it over to Dawn and get things started.
Hi, everybody. I am Dawn Marie Walker, and I am the manager of Pennsylvania Recruitment for Michigan State University. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a brief presentation that I will go through. If you think of questions throughout, feel free to type them in the chat, and I'll leave some time at the end when I can address them. So I like to start off by talking about where Michigan State is located. I'm sure you know that we're in East Lansing, Michigan. You can see here on this slide where East Lansing is on the mitten, about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Detroit. Very easy to get to from the Pittsburgh area. It's only about a 5-hour drive. Lansing is the capital of Michigan, so it's a small city, but there's lots to do there. And East Lansing, where our campus is located, is very much a college town. Lots of restaurants, coffee shops, shopping, movie theaters, anything a college student could want to do. The picture you see here on the upper right, that street is Grand River Boulevard, which borders our campus. So if you look across the street, you can see some of our buildings. So it's nice to know that all of these businesses are just footsteps away if you want to hang out off campus or if you want to get a job off campus. The campus itself is one of the largest in the country at over 5,000 acres. It's a traditional campus with a border around it and only our buildings on campus. So not at all an urban atmosphere. It's very suburban. Lots of grass, lots of trees. It's very park-like with lots of beautiful spaces all over campus, as you can see in these pictures. Here is a lovely shot of some of our students. We have one of the most diverse populations in the country. We have students represented from all 50 states and over 130 different countries. This is the northern part of our campus, and I think it really showcases the beauty, how green it is, the grass and the trees. Also, East Lansing is very flat, so it's a great campus if you like to walk or run or bike. And the sidewalks that you see in this picture are heated, so you are not contending with the ice and the snow in the winter when you're going to class. We do have all 4 seasons in East Lansing. It's a common misconception that the entire state of Michigan is a wintry, icy tundra year-round, and that's definitely not the case. There are hot summers, cold winters, and beautiful fall scenery like you can see in this picture here, just like Western Pennsylvania. And while we do have one of the largest campuses, we also have one of the largest populations. There are about 50,000 students studying at Michigan State, but about 40,000 of those are undergraduate. And I like to mention that because our resources are there for the undergraduate student. Sometimes students are worried that with that big of a population that you'll be competing for things like internships or research spots, but you won't. All of those resources are there for you as an undergraduate student, and we really encourage all students to participate in both of those things. Last year's freshman class was about 8,500 students, and about 27% of those came from out of state. Pennsylvania is the 6th state on the list from where we get students, so PA is really well represented on our campus, and most of those students are from the Pittsburgh area. There are over 200 areas of study at Michigan State, so pretty much anything you could want to major in. Some of our highest ranking and most popular majors include engineering, business, education, pre-professional programs like pre-med, pre-vet, pre-dental, pre-law, the sciences, the arts, pretty much anything you could want to study. That's also nice to know if you're not sure what you want to study. If you're coming in as an undecided student, you would choose exploratory preference on our application, and you're going to get a ton of support and advising to help you figure out what classes you should be taking and help you gear you in the direction of what major you should be choosing. All of those majors are housed within 17 different degree granting colleges, 3 of which are residential colleges. When you're thinking about a residential college, kind of picture a small liberal arts school, but on our very big campus. So if you love the idea of going to a large university, a Big Ten school, lots of resources, but maybe you thrive better in a smaller classroom, one of our residential colleges might be a good fit for you because they're limited in number. They're living learning environments where you're living in a residence hall with other students studying in the same area that you are, and many of your classes will even be in the same building because the population in the residential colleges is so small. Most professors and advisors' offices are in the same building as well. We do have about a 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and 84% of our classes have 50 students or fewer. But when you're a freshman and you're taking those gen ed required courses, you might find yourself in a lecture hall with several hundred students that look like this. But something to keep in mind, when you are in a lecture with several hundred students, we break those down into groups called recitations. So these are groups of 20 or fewer students that meet maybe on one class day a week for a more discussion-based classroom experience. And they're often led by teaching assistants, and you cover material that you've already learned in class. So if you don't feel comfortable asking a question in front of a couple hundred students, you can ask those questions during your recitation class. Then as you're advancing through your major, it's really likely that you're going to find yourself in a classroom with fewer than 10 students. Michigan State is home to one of the nation's most distinctive honors colleges. To be considered for honors college at Michigan State, there's no separate application. When you're admitted to Michigan State, we automatically evaluate you for honors college consideration based on the strength of your academics. So we'll be looking at your curriculum, the classes that you've taken from grades 9 to 12, and we really like to see students advancing through those core academic courses and hopefully taking some honors or AP or IB or dual enrollment or college and high school courses. The benefits to being admitted to our honors college include additional scholarship consideration. There are lots of scholarships that are awarded to our honors college students, but also more flexibility in your curriculum planning. Instead of having to take the gen ed required courses that everyone on campus has to take, you swap those out for honors or upper level courses. This can help you advance more quickly through your major and maybe even take graduate level courses as an undergraduate student. But this is also great if you have multiple areas of interest. If you want to take classes outside of your major, this gives you room in your schedule to do that. This is incredibly helpful if you have an idea for a double major or you have a minor or several minors. Some of the things that we're really proud to offer students that set us apart from other universities include entrepreneurship. There's some amazing maker spaces all over our campus that are open to all students, no matter what your major, and they've got some amazing resources inside them, like technology, 3D printers. They're also staffed with faculty and graduate assistants who can help you if you have an idea for a business, for a startup. They can help you with your technology or even to write a business plan. And we have a fantastic entrepreneurship and innovation minor available to all students on campus, no matter what your major. Michigan State has some of the best undergraduate research in the world. There are research opportunities available in every major and every year as an undergraduate student, and we really encourage all students to participate in research in some way. We have one of the best study abroad programs in the country. We traveled all 7 continents, over 60 different countries, and we have almost 300 different programs. We even have a pretty unique program specifically for freshmen. This happens before you even start classes your freshman year, sometime at the end of July or beginning of August. And it's a 2-week trip, and we usually have about 8 countries to choose from. So you'll be going with a group of about 30 students, 2 or 3 faculty members, getting to visit another country, and it's a 3-credit course. So you're earning 3 credits all before you ever even step foot into one of our classrooms. And besides the freshman abroad trip, there's so many study abroad opportunities available in all majors. There's research opportunity. You can study an entire semester abroad. You can study over winter break or over summer. And all out-of-state students who come to Michigan State will receive a study abroad scholarship. So this is money specifically for you to put toward a study abroad trip anytime as an undergraduate student. Here is a shot of Spartan Stadium, which I wish looked like this fall, full of this many people. Of course does not, but hopefully will next fall. and the Breslin Center, where you can watch a basketball game. I like to show both of these facilities because they're both located right in the heart of our campus. So no matter where you live on campus, just footsteps away. And that really lends to the energetic, exciting Big Ten atmosphere at Michigan State. We have over 900 student clubs and organizations. So no matter what you'd like to do outside of the classroom, we probably have a club or group that likes the same thing. So this includes Greek life, academic clubs, community service, outdoor and adventure clubs. And if you play a sport, but maybe not at the Big Ten Division I level, we offer pretty much every sport at the club and intramural level. All freshmen are required to live on campus, and we have one of the largest residence hall systems in the world. We have 27 different residence halls, all located within 5 unique neighborhoods on campus. All students are guaranteed on-campus housing all 4 years, so you can even live on campus all the way through your senior year. The neighborhood system is incredibly helpful to you as an out-of-state student and a freshman because you're really close to everything you need to live on a day-to-day basis. So each neighborhood has dining facilities, cafes, coffee shops, convenience stores, a healthcare clinic in case you're sick, fitness facilities. And the most important thing in each neighborhood is the engagement center. And this is your academic resource center. So this is where you can meet with an advisor, get a tutor or be a tutor, meet with a study group, join a writing workshop, find resources for upcoming study abroad trips or research opportunities, or meet with career services and talk about an internship. So everything you need to succeed academically is located in the engagement center in your neighborhood. It might even be in the very residence hall in which you live or one just footsteps away, but also everything you need just to live on a day-to-day basis is located in your neighborhood. So all of those things are going to be really easy to find and close, even though our campus is really big. We have some of the best college food in the country. All of our dining halls are all you can eat, not just once you go in, because they're like gigantic food courts with lots of choices, but all of the meal plans are all you can eat. So you can swipe your card in and out of dining halls as much as you want all day long. We also have Sparty's cafes located several in each neighborhood. The picture on the bottom right is a Sparty's. So Sparty's is like a convenience store that also has made to order food. So it's kind of like Sheetz, but without the gas. All of our meal plans give you 1 to-go Sparty's meal a day. So Sparty's has burgers and fries and chicken strips and salads and coffee, just like Sheetz does. So if you don't have time to go into a dining hall on your way to class, you can just run into Sparty's and grab a meal to go. We also have some amazing food trucks that drive around campus when the weather is nice. And if you have any dietary needs or restrictions, we can meet those at all of our dining facilities. So talking about the application process, our application is available on the Common App, the Coalition app, and you can apply directly, directly through our website. It does not matter how you apply. It will not affect your admissions decision or the length of time it takes you to hear your decision. Here's what we'll be looking for when we're evaluating you for admission. Number 1, your transcripts. So we're looking at the courses that you've taken from grades 9 to 11 and also your senior year schedule. And it really does strengthen your curriculum if you've taken honors or AP or IB or dual enrollment or college and high school courses. We do require the essay. We don't require letters of recommendation, but if you send them, we absolutely read them and take them into consideration. And of course, your GPA is a pretty important part of your application. You can see here the fall of 2019 freshman profile. So that high school GPA listed there, 3.5 to a 4.0, is the middle 50% of that class. So the average incoming GPA, not the minimum requirement. And that's also the weighted GPA. So if your high school puts a weighted GPA on your transcript, that's the one we'll be looking at. So again, that's the average, not the minimum requirement. We don't have a minimum requirement GPA. And if you should choose to submit a test score with your application, you can see the average composite ACT is a 23 to a 29, and SAT is an 1130 to a 1310. But of course, for the fall of 2021 and most likely beyond, we will be offering a test optional application. So what does that mean? If you've not had the chance to take a test, or if you're not happy with your test score, you can absolutely submit an application without a test score. This just means we'll be placing more emphasis on the other areas of your academics, your curriculum, your GPA, your essay, your extracurricular activities. It cannot hurt your chances for admission or for scholarship consideration to submit that test optional application. Here's our timeline. November 1st is our early action deadline. That's a non-binding early action, so you're not committed to come to Michigan State if you apply during that time period. The benefits of applying early action include maximum scholarship consideration, and also that you're guaranteed to hear your admissions decision by January 15th, although it's highly likely that you'll hear sooner than that. And then, of course, you must accept your offer of admission by May 1st. Once you submit your application, you'll be instructed to create a student account portal. This is really important because this is where your admissions decision and scholarship information will be posted. You'll also be instructed to create your MSU email account. That's important as well because all the updates that you get from us from the time you apply and forward will go to the MSU email account, not the one that you originally supplied to us. So create both of these and check them both often. So why Michigan State? We've got your back. It's what happens after you graduate that really sets Michigan State apart. We have a 93% placement rate. That's 12% higher than the national average. That means 93% of our graduates are being placed into their field or into graduate school within 6 months of graduation. This is due in large part to our amazing alumni network. There are about 500,000 living MSU alumni around the world. Pretty much every major city in the world has a great Spartan alumni club. There's one in Pittsburgh, and they are so supportive of current Spartans, recent graduates, if you're looking for an internship or a job, but also they do other things too. They do parties, game watches, community service. It's just nice to know that you're going to be a part of this really amazing network. We do have a 92% freshman retention rate, which is one of the nation's highest. So 92% of our freshmen are coming back to study for sophomore year. So talking about cost, you can see here the out-of-state tuition fees, room and board per year for an out-of-state student are about $50,000. But as a student who studies and lives in the state of Pennsylvania, you're guaranteed the Pennsylvania Spartan Grant. This is $10,000 a year. There's no other requirement. There's no application for this. If you apply by November 1st, and if you live in the state of Pennsylvania and you're admitted to Michigan State, you automatically get at least $10,000 a year. And then in addition to that, we do award merit scholarship. Merit scholarship, again, is based on the strength of your academics, so your curriculum, your GPA, and your test score if you've chosen to submit one. If you've not submitted a test score, you can still be considered for merit scholarship. It's a pretty wide range, anywhere from an additional $2,000 on top of that $10,000 Pennsylvania Spartan Grant, all the way up to the honors college level. If you're invited to the honors college and decide to participate, you might be eligible for a full ride or full tuition scholarship. We also encourage students to apply for those independent scholarships out there. Here are some great resources to find those: Sally Mae, FastWeb, and scholarships.com. So many of these scholarships go unawarded simply because students don't apply for them. About 69% of our freshman class does receive aid, and that's mostly our out-of-state students. And we do give need-based aid. So if you think you might qualify for need-based aid, make sure you fill out the FAFSA and put Michigan State as one of the schools to receive that information. This is a shot of the Red Cedar River that runs right through the heart of our campus. I really like to show this picture because it really showcases the beauty of Michigan State. There's a trail that runs all along the river, so you can walk to class beside it. If you're a runner or a walker or a biker, this is a great place to do it. And this is a shot of a parade headed to Spartan Stadium on a football Saturday, led, of course, by Sparty, the Big Ten's favorite mascot. When I'm asked about the environment at Michigan State, I cannot stress enough how exciting and how much school spirit there is there. There's always something happening. So of course, football is a big deal. So on a football Saturday, there's always a lot going on campus. Sports are always a big deal. But outside of sports, we have over 900 clubs and activities. So you can always find a group of people on campus doing something that you might want to be involved in. We are not a commuter campus. People don't go home on the weekends. The communities in the areas of the arts, of music, of theater, of dance, of the sciences, journalism, social sciences, there's always all kinds of things happening on our campus. So if you really like that exciting, energetic school spirit atmosphere, Michigan State is definitely a place that you should check out. We also encourage you to connect with us on our social media platforms. This is a great place to get the perspective of a current student or a recent graduate. They often take over these platforms and just talk very candidly about their experience at Michigan State. They're great people to ask questions of, and they can answer them in a way that I can't. And this is me, Dawn Marie Walker, the manager of Pennsylvania Recruitment. I'm your admissions counselor. I'll be reading your application. I'll be making the decision. So if Michigan State is really on your list and you're very interested, I really encourage you to reach out to me. Even if just to say hello. I like to try to remember students that I've met with. You can call me, email me, or text me at any time. And then of course, if you have any questions that I can't answer, I can connect you with the people that can. So that's what I have for you today. And now I'd like to open up the chat for Q&A. And there is a question in the chat. Is there any way I can apply at the end of junior year to do dual enrollment senior year? So we don't allow students to apply at the end of their junior year, but if you are doing if you're doing a senior year with all college and high school courses, you can still apply as a freshman and transfer those credits over. I hope that answers your question. Okay, are there any other questions? It could be about anything, about majors, about campus life, about the application process, about financial aid or scholarships. Any other questions? Well, if you all don't have any questions for me today, that's okay. This is all I have for you, but please take down my email address, my phone number, and reach out to me if there's anything you think of in the future that I can do for you. So if there's no other questions, that's all I have for you. Oh, there is another question. Do you know anything about the dental programs? So as an undergraduate student, most students who are interested in doing the pre-dental track often study in biology or chemistry or one of the natural sciences. You don't have to. You can major in anything and still do a pre-dental track. So you'll have an advisor who's going to help you make sure you have the prerequisites that you need to apply to the dental program and that you're taking the courses in whatever major it is that you choose. And then you would apply to either our dental school or someone else's. But as an undergraduate student, it's a pre-dental track. It's not a major, but you can still fulfill all of the obligations so that you can apply to dental school no matter what it is you're studying as an undergraduate student. I hope that answers your question. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. That's all I have for you. I'll turn it back over to Michael.
Okay, so it's we've finished the session then?
If there's no other questions, that's all that I have.
All right, well, we'd like to thank you all for joining us. And just so you know, there will be a quick survey once I close out the session. There'll be 4 questions. Please answer the survey so that we can continue to provide this really wonderful service. Sign up for more sessions. Again, go to www.pacac.org/virtual. And remember, the recording will be available to you throughout the week. So please feel free to go back and listen to some of the wonderful things that Don shared with you about Michigan State University. Like for instance, I would love to do the entrepreneurial program, but you know, I'm probably a little too old for that now. But please remember that you can come back and see some of the things that she shared with you today. So all of you have a wonderful evening and make sure you apply to Michigan State. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for facilitating, Michael. It was nice seeing you.
You as well. Have an enjoyable evening.